Hey, Nonye, thank you so much for hopping on today.
Thank you for having me. Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, for our listeners who don't actually know who you are, can you give me a little bit of background about yourself?
Sure. My name is Nonye Ojibe. I have a YouTube channel. It's called M.C.F.A.E. So it's like Manifestations Come Fast and Easy, and I just talk about how to help people go through a spiritual journey, but using the principles of law of attraction and self-discipline. So.
Can you kind of explain a little bit of what law of attraction is?
It's a good question. So I'm like not an expert, you know. I don't want to come off like I'm Abraham Hicks or like Bob Proctor, because those people like studied it for 50 years, you know, and they know what they're talking about. Because those like are my mentors, and I turn to them. So my keyword is like journey. Like I'm going on through this as
Yeah.
well, but I do believe my faith is very strong. Like it does not waver. I feel like it is something within me. I've always felt like this since I was like since I can remember. Like I was like crying at like cartoon movies because I felt the power, like the spiritual energy, you know. So it was always something. So now when I learned about law of attraction, it like I feel like that was the next puzzle, like the next step to my journey, you know, like this is, you know, I'm also learning a lot about it. But from what I can gather, I would say like the law of attraction is so I've like first comes vibration, like the level, like the energy you're giving off, and then you attract everything that you're, all that energy you're giving. Like we're energy beings, and whatever level, like whatever, like think of it as a radio, whatever station we're tuned onto, like that's what we're going to get. So if you're like on station negative, you're attracting a lot of negativity, you know. So that's like the laws of attraction.
So, how do you help people like kind of figure out how to change that vibration? Like why would they want to? I guess who knows
Why would they want to change?
things. Yeah, but
I mean, who doesn't want to be more positive, you know, and get more wealth or just anything that they desire? They'll just get that good feeling all the time, whatever that may be to you. Maybe that might be like getting a new car, getting a new house. To me, it could
right.
be
So you're saying it can
rain.
like manifest like all of your goals basically and things that
Yeah, your desire. Yep. And it's because your desire, it's like if you have it in your mind already, it's already real, but it's an energy that it's on, and you have to try to attract yourself to that level. Like you probably have to change up, you probably have to transform, you probably have to change who you are today, because that's probably why the person doesn't have it today. It's because you're not on that level to attract it. So you probably have to go through a transformation so you can be on that level, you know, to be able to attract your desire. You have to, you know, it's not just gonna be like a one and done, snap the fingers. I think it's like life is a beautiful journey, you know, and that's the process of it, you know.
do
Law
you
of attraction.
have do you have like a top tip or two that you suggest for people who want to be able to raise their vibration?
Hmm. Like, so I saw something that was like positive thinking, but if someone is not on a positive level, it could be hard to start just thinking positive. So I would say the first step with that is just to don't think negative. Like, don't think anything, like if you're gonna say, oh, I can't do this, or I hate it when someone does it, like don't even say it. You don't have to necessarily start with saying, oh, well, I love when X, Y, and Z, you know, but just start with stop complaining or just stop saying something negative, you know. So I
Yeah.
would say that that's like a first tip to raise the vibration. And then the second would be to top it off and then replace it with something positive if you want to, you know, take it to the next level. Like it's steps to it. So just stop thinking, stop being negative, like just stop. When you think of it, just stop it right there. And then take it up a notch, then counteract that with something positive. So like if it's raining, like, oh my gosh, I hate it when it rains. Like don't even think that. But
Yeah.
then say, well, I'm more grateful for when the sun shines. Like when the sun does come out, I'm grateful for
Right.
that. Or like I'm grateful for the rain because, you know, it helps stuff grow. You know, just find the gratitude in whatever it is.
And you go into detail a lot of this on your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
So, can you tell me some about your YouTube channel? Like, what gave you the inspiration to start talking about this stuff on YouTube?
Just because I'm passionate about it and I talk about it all the time, and YouTube allows me, I have creative power to do that. I can now talk about it anytime, all the time that I want, of a channel. But it's like a journey for me too. So me talking about it also kind of instills it in my mind as well. So, and then also if I can help someone else, because this is a journey that I'm like televising, like this transformation, it's going to be, televised. So I feel like if anyone maybe down the line could see this and they can get inspiration from the evolution, then that'll be
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like you're very personable on your YouTube channel, and I feel
good.
like I
Thank you.
take that journey with you, which I think is something that's different than like a lot of the like mainstream people who do talk a lot about law of attraction. It doesn't feel like a journey with them. It almost feels like they've like already gotten there or something. And I feel like you really tap into that journey.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because it's definitely real on this end, So yeah, try to be
And
authentic and transparent as possible.
yeah. And we talked earlier a little bit about how like maybe it's not actually marketing. Sometimes we use the term attraction marketing, like we hear that a lot. There's not like an end to it, right? With the law of
No.
like a perpetual
Yeah, no end.
growth.
Because I feel like the journey is life. As long as you're living, it's there's lessons to be learned.
Do you have any books or something you suggest?
Oh, let's see. There's a lot. So it depends. I like autobiography books. I feel like I learn a lot about law of attraction from other people because
Mhm.
people, like the world really is all about relationships. Everything how you learn is all about relationships. So if I can just see or have like a relationship with that book and that character, I like those. Any really autobiography. Someone you admire, if they have an autobiography, I would definitely say pick it up. Like read what that person went through or their perspective on things. Um, but like a law of attraction book, there is acts and it is given by Abraham Hicks. She breaks it down like
Oh,
really, really good. Like breaks it down to the T. Like it really can't get any simpler than that.
awesome. I'll have to check.
So yeah.
So you were also in network marketing at some point, right?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah. So, but you're not in network marketing now, right?
No.
Okay. So a lot of times people come on the podcast and they're like still in network marketing. They're still like, yeah, this is awesome. So like, what are some of the things, like, why did you decide it wasn't worth it?
So a lot of the times I guess when I went, I felt a lot that it was more so like it was like a script. Like it wasn't as personable, it wasn't as real, it wasn't like as authentic. It was more so like a schedule, like
Mm.
always closing kind of thing with everybody at all the time. And yeah, I was more so into like I guess in my life like I wanted like more of a connection in a job or something that I really want to sell because I believe I'm a good salesperson. I believe if you really do believe in the product, like you really do, then I mean that's just part of who I am. I have to talk about it because I really do believe in it. That's part of why I'm doing the YouTube channel because I really believe in all that stuff. So I can understand that, but I feel like if the person is rather selling more than actually listening to their concerns and their needs, and they're just still pushing the service or product, it's no, I don't want that. And I feel like when I went to Mark MLM, it was more. I felt more of that energy than the actual person. It was more so about the business and how long
Mm.
they've been in it, and then how much money they got from it, and where they are. It was just like the come up. Like most people were getting awards, and it was just talking about how long they're in it and how it changed their life. But
Yeah.
it wasn't really talking about the product. I wasn't really talking about the service or the people that it helped. It was just kind of like a system. And I wasn't, I couldn't do it at that time in my life. I wasn't ready. I didn't want to do it.
I think that's a great reason to not do it. And that's why I ask you about this because I think network marketers need to know what they need to avoid being like, they need to know what the turnoff is for some people
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
avoid that. Or at
But
least
I feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like it would have to probably change its whole system. Because I feel like the whole,
Really?
well, I don't, okay, well, I'm basing this just off ACN. ACN is the only
Okay.
one. Oh, shoot, well, no shame to ACN, but that's the only one I really went to. Like, I went to the annual, because I know, like, a lot of programs like that, you guys have meetings, like, every Saturday morning or every, like, one day a week, you guys have, like, a meeting where you can bring people in and they can sell them and get the product. So there's, like, a big one, though, like, maybe once a year, twice a year, like a big city, and everyone goes to. So I went to one of those, and it was like over the weekend for a couple of days, and that's when it was like when I felt, if there's like, that's when I felt that energy the most of it being like about the system. So I feel like if you're gonna change that, you have to change like that whole
Yeah.
system. And it was so pushy, like they were so pushy with buying, get going, like you have to go, you have to go. Like it wasn't really about anyone else's needs or anything, or because I understood that you thought that that was like an excuse. Like their excuse is like, like you have to change in order to be the successful person. You have to make the sacrifices. Like I understand that part, but it was still like it was really just about going. Like, it wasn't really listening to the person. People were buying tickets before the person even said yes. It was like already, yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, I feel that energy a lot. So when I joined
Yeah.
Architect, I can just tell
Yeah.
that's what the vibe
I think
is.
it's definitely easy for it to kind of get steered that way.
Mm.
I think do you feel like there's a way that a network marketer could maintain, I guess, that focus on the customer, not customer, but like the focus on other people?
Like the prospect, I guess,
Yeah.
to get the
So
person to join the business.
whoever either joining or like whoever wants products or like,
This will just speak just about the products, like 100% all about the products then. Like, and see how it can be so beneficial to that person. Like,
mm,
what are their needs? What are their desires? What are they lacking? And how can your product or service solve it? Like,
yeah,
when it's so just focus all about the product. And then if it's like, if you really love this, we're making money off of this. Like you can sell this, like you love this as a passion and you can get paid for it. Like you talk about it already for free, talk about it and get paid kind of thing.
gotcha. I really like that approach. You're kind of approaching it, well, you are approaching it from the perspective of like, how can this help them? And then once it helps them, then they actually have that passion to be able to turn it into a business that helps them even more
Yeah.
monetarily.
Yeah. Cause then it'll be kind of a little effortless. Like you don't
Yeah.
even really have to push or sell. Like everyone will want to
Mhm.
do all that.
A lot of people kind of market by saying like, oh, it helped me this way. It helped me this way. Do you feel like that kind of counteracts what we're talking about? Like goes against
The
what we're talking about?
if their product or service help them, what do you mean?
Hold on. Daniel dropped, I don't know what he just dropped, but
I did hear something on, you don't know.
something crashed upstairs.
Oh my goodness.
I did. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're talking a lot about how we should like kind of get to know who we're talking to and and maybe help them um, have some sort of problem gets fixed by whatever our product is, right? Like helping them instead of like
Yeah, like
numbers.
whatever your service or product provides,
Yeah.
that's what you focus
Uh,
on. But that's the focus. So if you want to talk about how that product helped you, that's still talking about the product, you
okay,
know.
that's what I'm wondering. So how do you feel that like law of attraction can get maybe meshed with network marketing or help a network marketer?
I think it can help it a lot. Like that's part of the sales. Like a lot of salespeople, they talk about law of attraction. Like it's because you have to think it, you have to see it
Yeah.
first, and then you will achieve it. Um, I think that that's probably real within the marketing MLM, I guess, environment. Law of attraction, like seeing it to believe it,
Yeah.
speaking it, like speaking into existence, and like how they do it repeatedly, like every morning. I was in another one. It was what I was really was it? No, it wasn't really ML. It was like just sales. We would have to stand out. Like I would go to like a Sam's Club. That was my job, and I would sell like the product or
Mhm.
service there. But we would do it like every morning. We'd have to go through the same thing and get hyped up, like, and all that is science, like tied into the law of attraction. You know, getting it within the body, like it's changing your whole subconscious to believe that. But I feel like still that's the first part. But where they go left in that type of industry is because they focus more so like on the money, like do anything to get to that goal. Like that's like forget everything else. Just focus on that. So they're running for that. But I feel like with law of attraction, you should be able to envision it, and then those things will come to you, kind of thing. If you're really into it, like you don't have to force it. It will just kind of like exude off of you. You know, people will want to know, well, what's going on? What do you do? What are you doing differently? Or what's that service you're doing? Or, you know, people are going to be intrigued. I feel like if you're really
Yeah.
enlightened with it, right?
Does that end up being maybe a slower way to kind of come about sales, and that's why people get pushy?
Yeah, it is probably a lot, yeah, slower. Especially like from the job that I was doing that every single day. Like we had to get units in that like a certain amount of unit that day. But that's like it was a script involved in that as well. Like there was like no thinking involved with that whatsoever. It was like this is what you say when they rebuttal. If they say no, okay, we'll say this. Like it was always a way to kind of catch them
Yeah.
and get them back in. I felt like, I mean, that's kind of what made me good, like with ACN too, the MLM, because when I would talk about this service and, you know, how it could help them and they would say no, I know exactly what to say to like, you know, get them to actually come to the meeting, you know, and then someone else would take it from there. But yeah, it was still just, so with that, you have to be on like, it has to be pushy. I feel like, I guess so. Like you have to always be closing when it comes to that. But it'll take a build up. You have to change up your whole, yeah, it's like a plant. Like you have to let it grow. Like you're gonna have to water it and take care of it. It's gonna take months maybe. But then I
Yeah.
feel like once you're there, if you can be patient, you know, you can probably come. It's like, you know, it's delayed gratification.
Which is always the better thing, I think.
Yeah, but I guess if it's for business, you know, business is different. Business and I think law of attraction is like it's it can go either way. You know, there's a middle, but then there's both ends of the spectrum, you know,
That's
if
true.
that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. It does. So if somebody's actually interested in maybe like doing MLM because they, like a product or like the compensation plan or whatever, what advice would you give to them going into that?
If they like the product or they like how they can probably be successful within it,
Let's
within
say
the business.
products, because we know that like you were talking earlier about people should really care about the product itself.
But there are some individuals who are great at, you know, MLM and they can go up the ladder too. And I don't think nothing's wrong with them. Like they have it, they
Yeah.
have their law of attraction, or they're manifesting, you know, their mindset is right as well. But there's also an aura about them too that's doing it. You
Yeah.
know, they're not forcing it. Like it's just who they are. And they probably really do believe it. There are people who are like, those are the CEOs and the ones who are actually at the top and can actually do that. Like that's what their sacrificing dedication they can do. And that is, I mean, if they're doing it for the business and they feel like they are in love with the business, great. Like those are the ones that I feel like you really, really want. You shouldn't have to like force anyone, but a lot of people force. But there are
Yeah.
those one individuals who are nice with it and they'll take it to the next level. You know, those are the ones I feel like you fish out. The ones that are great with the product, they're just gonna be great at the product. Like, you know, they might not necessarily be great at the business and selling it, but if that's like right, if it's a good product or a good service, at least that's a good customer. You know, that's okay.
Yeah.
So win-win. You know, both
Yeah.
win-win.
I mean, you have to have customers in like every business.
Mm-hmm. It's best to, and then word of mouth. That's like one of the best marketing strategies. So you have someone who's really good at. If you have someone who loves the product or service, that's good. Keep them happy. You know, they're only talking about it.
Well, Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge today about like
Of course.
experiences with network marketing, as well as advice for people who might be joining network marketing, and how that kind of interacts with your passion with law of attraction and stuff like that. So everyone should go watch her YouTube channel because she's
Yay.
really great advice, and like join her on her journey because it's awesome.
And it could just help you, like in general.
Yeah.
Like if you are also going through something, or you just want to be a better version of yourself, you know, you don't have to do it alone. Like I'm over here doing it myself. So
Exactly.
that's all.
So thank you so much, and we'll be in touch.